am here finally, as promised many times before, to talk about movies and television that I have been watching. So happy 2024. And we'll just kind of get right into it. I think I'll do movies first and then television. Timestamps will be in the description, so if there's shows or movies you don't care about, feel free to skip around. We'll start with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I finally watched this. I had been wanting to see it. Now, please understand that I am not a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. I have never seen a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I have, I think, seen some of the cartoons when I was younger. I had a friend who was very into TMNT, but he was of that, they should all have red bandanas, that's how it is in the comic book kind of mentality. And that was kind of all I knew about the Ninja Turtles, is that in the comic book, they all have red masks, I guess. And then for the sake of the cartoon and probably for marketing purposes, I am going to guess they made everybody an individual color. I'm guessing so they could sell more toys. Otherwise, you could just buy 4 of the same red masked. I don't know. This is speculation on my part. In any case, the movie was super cute. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought the art style was interesting and innovative. Definitely, if you've seen the Spider-Verse movies, you could see where some of the influence, as many people have pointed out, has come from. And yeah, I just had a fun time with it, not even knowing a whole lot about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I did know that Splinter, I get Splinter and Shredder confused because those names are too similar, but Splinter is the rat, and I love Jackie Chan. I'll watch him in anything, even as an animated rat. So yeah, so I just, even though the story itself was pretty basic and it was very kind of Magneto esque, mutants should band together and defeat humanity versus, no, let's learn to live within society and better society. It's too bad that society hates us, that kind of thing. It's a very common, I would say, theme in these kinds of stories and movies, but it was well done here and I enjoyed it and it was super cute. So maybe there'll be more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. I appreciated that they really did feel like teenagers. I have 3 teenagers. They were a little bit astounded and confused that these turtles sounded and acted like teenagers, using, slang like Riz. They were like, wait, no, because they're not used to being accurately depicted on screen, and that threw them a little bit. Okay, so we also watched the big one that people have been talking about. We watched Saltburn. Yes, the whole family together. Me, my husband, and our 3 teens. Now, I will say, our oldest tapped out pretty early on. He was not interested in sticking around for very long. The other 2 stuck it out. The youngest said this is less a movie and more an endurance test, and I think some of the TikToks and whatnot bear that out. But it was interesting. I thought, cinematography-wise, editing-wise, it was very well done. After all the hype, I guess I expected something more, definitely something maybe a little deeper than this was. I wanted there to be a little more misdirection. I'm not going to spoil anything here, but I just wanted there to be a little more mystery, a little bit more of the questioning of what was going on. It seemed very obvious from the start to me what was happening. And so, yeah, I just wanted it to be a little bit shadier and a little bit more obscure or obtuse in the storytelling. Yeah, there's some disturbing stuff. I don't know. But it wasn't, I don't know. In our family, we're pretty open. There's not a whole lot of taboo. So it was maybe not as much of a thing for us as it might be for some families. It was interesting and good. The acting was good. Like I said, the cinematography, the editing, I found really well done in particular. But yeah, I mean, I liked it. I liked it. Not as much as I expected to, though. Killers of the Flower Moon. We sat down and watched this on New Year's Eve. I didn't want to see it in the cinema simply because of the length. I did not want to sit in the cinema for 3.5 hours. Lately, going to the cinema is something I'm very, very selective about. I realize cinemas need the patronage, but I need cinemas to enforce some rules and some better behavior from those patrons. I'm not going to sit for 3.5 hours with people misbehaving. I did it with Napoleon, and I was miserable. And, you know, until the theater owners start cracking down on some of that behavior, they're going to see less of me and my money. In any case, Killers of the Flower Moon was very good. Better than I thought it would be. I haven't read the book. I want to read the book. I think the book might actually have a few more details that would be interesting to me. This is sprawling, but again, not incredibly deep. It was good. I do think Lily Gladstone deserves some attention come awards time. She was fantastic. And yeah, I mean, I liked it. I liked it more than I expected to. I didn't have really high hopes. I'm not a huge Martin Scorsese fan, despite having a film degree and having seen so many of his movies. Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't make the kinds of things I typically really enjoy. But yeah, it was good. It was good. It was a nice way to finish out the year. And then just last night, 2 nights ago, we watched Past Lives, finally. So right now we're not going to be able to see all of the awards contenders. Obviously, Golden Globes are just coming up this Sunday, but we're trying to at least be informed ahead of all of this. And we've seen a fair number of these movies. So we wanted to see Past Lives. I've heard nothing but just like effusive praise for this movie, and I did really like it. It's, again, a bittersweet movie and kind of deceptively simple in its storyline. I understand it's semi-autobiographical from the writer-director. What is her name? Celine Song? Something like that. I didn't really care for... I'm sorry if you can hear all this noise. I've got a house full of teenagers right now. In any case, I didn't really like the main character that much. But I understood her and her ambition and, like, the choices she made and why. I've been in that place in my life at different times, and I do sometimes wonder, like, oh, what if I'd made a different choice? What if, like, where would I be now if I'd done this instead or whatever? So I think that's a normal, natural human thing to kind of identify with. What's very strange to me about this movie, sorry, my nose is running. I've got these allergies. We've had rain and everything's coming out, and I just, anyway, sorry. What was very strange to me about this movie was that I was insanely distracted by some of the costuming and wardrobing choices. I don't know why. I can't tell you what it was about it that, like, distracted me so much, but I found it very distracting. And this is a weird thing to be hung up on, I guess, but I had a fashion design major roommate in college, and, you know, I don't know, and, you know, there was something about it that really distracted me at different points in the movie. But anyway, Past Lives, I thought it was really good. And even if I didn't like the main character, I can't remember her name, but like I said, I understood her, and I think the acting was very good, and I felt very, like, much for her childhood friend who continues to try and connect with her, but her life choices and her ambitions and other things kind of get in the way of that relationship. So, I thought it was interesting, and like I said, bittersweet, deceptively simple. It's not a super long movie, which I appreciate, it not trying to stretch itself out farther than it needed to. It was good. So television, there's only 2 shows right now that we're watching actively, and they're both at about the halfway point, so I figure we can just touch on them, talk about them more when we get to the end of the seasons. Fargo season 5, for one. Okay, so I've enjoyed every season of Fargo except season 4, which I don't even think I watched past 2 episodes of that. I'm not interested in like organized crime at that level. There were too many characters for me to keep track of, and that kind of thing. So yeah, I tapped out of season 4, but all the other seasons I've really enjoyed. And this one I think is my favorite, even though like it is in fact very on the nose. It's not trying to hide its political like statements or anything. I think that might be what appeals to me. I don't know, the woman power like element is strong in this season. Juno Temple is doing a phenomenal job. John Hamm is always fun to watch, and yeah, it's just been a lot of fun. If you don't know the story, so Fargo, every season it's a different story set not in Fargo, but like usually Minnesota, Dakotas, like that area, which is where my mom's dad's family is from. So there is that too. In this season, Juno Temple plays Dot, whose real name is Nadine, and she had run away from an abusive husband played by John Hamm, who's very much like patriarchal, American patriot type. She changed her name, remarried, has a child. It's been like 10 years or so, and then he finds her and sends people to bring her home, and it goes from there. And it's been great. It's an insanely tense season. Every season of Fargo is pretty tense, but this one is especially tense. But yeah, it's been good. And then Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Nice to see Percy getting the kind of treatment that his story really deserves. A movie was never really going to cut it, because shaving it down, especially to a child, like middle grade, teen friendly length, was not probably going to be able to do the story justice. Now we've got age appropriate actors playing Percy, Annabeth, Grover, and others, and so far so good. The whole family is enjoying this. We watch it together every Tuesday night. They've made some significant changes, but with Rick Riordan's input, and the way I see it is some of this might very well be Riordan taking the chance to make those revisions that, after so many years of having written it, he may be in the back of his mind. He's like, I kind of wish I'd done it this way, or I'd actually take this character and show them in a different light now if I had the chance, and this is kind of his chance, maybe. The changes in some places are noticeable, but I think overall the story is hanging together as written, and I think fans can get behind it. I know there's been some nasty stuff about the casting, but honestly, these kids are doing very well. I think they're all cast very well. They all inhabit the characters very well. And like I said, we're just really enjoying it as a family. I think it's a great adaptation so far. I won't go into the details of any of the changes in case people haven't read the book or watched the show yet. If you want to talk about it in the comments, we can. I would say the turn of Medusa, the kind of victim but also still monster, is an interesting choice. That's about all I'll say, I think. But yeah, we, like I said, we're enjoying it. So 4 episodes are out. There's only 8 expected this season. I think for Fargo, it's 5 or 6 episodes are out, and there's 10, I think, for the season. So we're, again, about halfway through the season for both of these shows. And yeah, we're having a good time with them. What's up next, once we kind of wrap some of this up, got to catch up with The Crown. That I think is the one TV series that we want to catch up with, because we've watched all the previous seasons, and I know a new season dropped in, was it December, November? I don't know. But we just haven't had the bandwidth or the time. And then we're just trying to watch as many of the awards movies as we can catch here at home via streaming. Anatomy of a Fall's on our list, Maestro's on our list. So we'll be watching that stuff, and we can talk about that soon. If there's anything you think I should be watching that I haven't seen yet, like an awards movie that you're like, no, you need to go see this, or a TV show that maybe is not on my radar, please let me know. I'm always open to recommendations. And until next time, take care.